What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to react to a video that was just recently made by Scap, right? Scap Attack. And he was really in this video, he was basically honoring Kobe Bryant, right? And I want to comment on this because I think that I think first of all, I think he did a really good job, in this video. And so I'm gonna play the audio. But if anybody, like nobody tried harder than Kobe Bryant to get past Michael Jordan and really make himself the GOAT. And so fans appreciate that. Although fans acknowledge that, most people acknowledge that Kobe Bryant fell short, but it wasn't for a lack of effort, right? Um, I think there was some other things that played into making, having Kobe fall short when it came to overcoming Mike as the greatest. But like I said, it wasn't for a lack of effort, man. Kobe, he tried. He definitely tried. And so and then, when I think about Kobe trying, I also think about, like for the story of the NBA. That's why this LeBron James situation is just so interesting, right? Because LeBron James didn't put in the effort that Mike and Kobe put in, right? He ain't put in the effort that a lot of guys put in, right? He wasn't that kind of player. But maybe that is where the NBA had to shake things up and had to allow somebody like LeBron James to step into the spotlight and do something different because like Mike was a one-off. Like everything that happened around Mike was like a perfect storm, and it just wasn't going to be it wasn't going to be duplicated. And so that's why in my opinion, like Kobe never really caught Mike. So yeah, with that being said, man, I just like I said, I want to play what Scap had to say, and then I want to react to it also.
Well, on August 23rd of 1978, a surefire all-time Mount Rushmore player was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And for the 20 years Kobe Bryant graced the NBA, he largely defied expectations, doing so somewhat unconventionally, despite the implications that he was just a clone of Michael Jordan. And I think in many ways, he arguably surpassed Jordan. Through the ups and the downs, the good times and the bad, Bryant was always unapologetically Kobe. It didn't mean he was a perfect human being or even a perfect basketball player all of the time. But as his credo always stated, he strived to get better every single day. That was the Mamba mentality. And it didn't mean taking the easy way out or even always succeeding. But at the end of the day, and with adding in all of the flaws, Bryant, in my opinion, still constitutes arguably the best singular basketball force in league history. And today on Mamba Day, one day after his birthday, I wanted to take a look back and remember that. And joining the conversation to help me unpack the late, great Kobe Bryant, everything he meant to basketball and maybe to us individually, I want to, at this time, welcome in the great Johnny Arnett. I'm sure many of you are well aware of Johnny and his exploits on this platform. He is a powerhouse in the basketball content creation space here on YouTube. He has a couple different channels going now. And Johnny, as you can see, has that Lakers hat on. Johnny, I figured this would be a great opportunity to do an official collaboration on my channel with you. We could do a Kobe Glaze episode here, as I know you are a monstrous fan of the Black Mamba as well. And Johnny, welcome. Thanks for being here. And tell the viewers a little bit. All
right, before they go any further, right, just let me say this about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant, like I said, wasn't for a lack of effort. But I do think that it was the timing that Mike came in, right? Timing played a whole lot into it because when you think about it, Nike and the NBA like Nike took off. And so the marketing machine behind Michael Jordan just was crazy. Kobe Bryant didn't get that. Then Michael Jordan came into the league at a time where the NBA wanted to go global, right? So Mike was a part of that movement to take the NBA to that next market, like expand the NBA. So and by the time Kobe got to the league was already global. Nike was already what was already a juggernaut, right? So you didn't, there was no need to market Kobe the same way you marketed you marketed Mike. And so that impact that Mike had on fans, not just here, but around the world, it wasn't the same. And as far as like if you compare that on the court, you compare them guys on the court, both of those guys was fanatics. Both of those guys just work harder than I ever seen any professional basketball players work. But it just, that I just think that it was a perfect storm that Kobe, nobody would be able to compete with. That's why I think that LeBron James couldn't do it the same way. He couldn't do, things the same way as Mike did it and Kobe did it because it just would have gotten boring, and so LeBron, they had to find another way to make LeBron James exciting for the fans or make him interesting for the fans. But let me get back to some more of what Scap and his co-hosts are going to say about Kobe.
About you if you want to. And then also, where exactly do you, I'm sorry to pressure you here, where exactly and precisely do you have Kobe Bryant ranked on your all-time hierarchy?
Sure. So my name is Johnny Arnett, and I make NBA content focused on storytelling, NBA history. It's kind of been my big passion. When I grew up, thank God my dad was a big NBA fan because he got me into it. And he used to, on VHS tapes, record like every playoff game, every all-star game, some significant regular season games. So my childhood was watching those on repeat, collected the basketball cards and everything. And then when I saw like some other fellow YouTubers doing this thing, I was like, this is my calling. This needs to be my job. And so I pursued it, and it's worked out pretty all right. So it's great to be on your channel. I think it's the first time I've been on here. So thank you for having me on here. And let's see, all-time rank. I think the last time I did it, which for me, I'm always changing my mind basically on who I'm focusing on that month and who seems to stand out the most. But I think last time I had Kobe Bryant 4th all time. Yeah, Kobe Bryant 4th. I think I had MJ 1, Bird 2, Magic 3, Kobe 4. Those guys are huge for me. And I'm not a big longevity guy. I'm not a big consistency guy. For me, it's like when they were at their best, how good were they?
Now, let me just say this about his top 4, right? I've never really heard anybody put Bird second. That's different, Michael, Bird, and then you had Kobe 4th. I just never really heard that.
And that's why those guys tend to be so much higher for me.
Interesting. And yes, we have done a couple collaborations, and there's been a couple of things with us together that I posted to my channel, but this is the first time you've actually come over. So I really appreciate it. And Johnny, did you grow up? We're a little bit we have a little bit of an age gap. I'm a couple years older than you. Did you grow up essentially loving Kobe Bryant? When is your earliest or fondest memory of seeing Kobe, or when did you realize that guy is my favorite player? That guy is the guy I think that could be an all-time great?
Yeah, I mean, so I was a Lakers fan basically from the instant I could retain memories, because my dad he was a huge Lakers fan. The instant I was born, we had a Siberian Husky dog that was named Magic after Magic Johnson. So that gives you some perspective on like what the Arnett household was like back then. And so huge Lakers fan. Am I a Jordan fan? Yeah, because I feel like anybody who grew up loving the NBA in the 90s, unless you were like a Pistons or a Knicks fan, of course, like MJ was basketball in the 90s. So I was a fan of his as well, but was rooting for my Lakers. And then when we got Kobe, we were starting to hear like the comparisons, of him to MJ. At this point, I'm like 7, 8 years old. Okay. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm excited about this guy. And it's hard for me to remember everything, but I remember just thinking he's not Michael Jordan. Like, come on. We know who Michael Jordan is. He's not Michael.
Yeah, it's just that, like I said, that machine that was behind Michael Jordan, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, Mike was the dude on the court too. But that machine behind Michael Jordan just made the legacy and the image and the persona, everything around Michael Jordan just made it just so much greater, right? But the thing I also want to point out about this conversation is when you have a basketball player, a great basketball player like these guys, and they just leave it out there all on the court, the fans are the ones who who like who carry their legacy. So Mike and Kobe, they never had to declare themselves as the GOAT or say how great they were. You got fans, passionate fans who love Mike, they love Magic, they love Kobe, they love Bird, right? And so their fans, Isaiah fans, love Isaiah, and they're gonna fight. They're gonna be the they're gonna be the ones who carry the legacy of those guys. And so I think that younger players are realizing that, like, you can't you got to get out there and perform, and you can't disconnect yourself from that fan base. You can't allow the league to shape your legacy. You got to get out there and put that work in yourself. And I think that Kobe did that. That's why, fans, Laker fans love Kobe the way they love him, because Kobe put that work in. Mike put that work in. Bird put that work in. It's just that Mike just was like just 10 times, in my opinion, just was so much larger than everybody else because of that. Not just because of what he did on the court, but it just got really just magnified because everything just went worldwide with Mike, man. So that's my take on it. Like I said, it wasn't for a lack of trying with Kobe. That Mamba mentality just was crazy and relentless. So make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. I'm gonna check you all out in the next video. Peace.